Well, the Trump administration is considering a major shift in U.S. strategy in Afghanistan. Top military leaders will ask President Trump this week for more troops to fight the Taliban. They will suggest adding about 3,000 troops to advise the Afghan military. More than 8,000 are already on the ground. The Trump administration has also asked NATO to send more troops to Afghanistan. And joining me now from the Pentagon is David Martin. Thank you very much, David, for joining us. What more can you tell us about this shift in strategy?
Well, during the second term of the Obama administration, of course, the goal was to get all U.S. troops out of Afghanistan. His original plan was to have only 1,000 troops associated just with the embassy in Afghanistan by the end of his administration. That, of course, didn't work out. By the time he left office, there were 8,500 U.S. troops there serving mainly as advisors to the Afghan army, but also special operations forces that conducted raids against some of the terrorist groups in Afghanistan. But now, all pretense of reducing the number of troops is gone, and there is going to be an increase of troops in Afghanistan, provided that President Trump approves this, because he hasn't yet been presented the plan. But the commander in Afghanistan, General John Nicholson, has said he needs a few thousand more troops to advise the Afghan army, and he needs to be able to put those advisors closer to the front lines. So nobody's talking about sending American troops back into combat here, but you are talking about a situation in which more American troops will be closer to the battlefield than they were at the end of the Obama administration.
David, we know that Secretary of Defense James Mattis recently went to Afghanistan in April. Some inside the White House are calling this McMaster's war. He was the architect of President George W. Bush's troop surge in Iraq. McMaster is the national security advisor. So is he now tasked with crafting policy for the Pentagon as well?
Well, he led an administration-wide review of Afghan policy, because, of course, you also have the State Department, which has a lot of interest in Afghanistan. And so he was the one that coordinated that review, which is now about to reach the president with its recommendations. General McMaster and former General, now Secretary of Defense Mattis, are both on-the-ground experts in Afghanistan. They both served there as military officers, but the real driving force behind this new plan is the fact that the commander on the ground there now, General John Nicholson, is asking for these troops.
And any sense on how the president might weigh in? We know that he has been critical to get out of Afghanistan, but any reading, David, on where he might turn on this one?
Well, he has very rarely expressed himself on the subject of Afghanistan, and when he has, it's been very critical and skeptical of the American effort there. But his track record so far in his days as president has been to accept military advice, and I think the indications are that he will go along with this.
David Martin at the Pentagon. David, thank you for joining us.
Sure thing.